and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick, and today we're going to talk a little bit about seeing Hampton as a tourism location, whether that is you and your family, whether you have guests in town or friends visiting, some ideas of things you can do for free, and also some combo discounts. My guest today is Mary Fugere from the Visitor and Tourism Bureau. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you so much.
I think sometimes when we live here, we forget that there's this wealth of things you can see and do that are tourism related. And then all of a sudden maybe people come visit and we go to our own museums and we do some of these tours. Tell us, you have a new smartphone guide to some of the tourism places in the city. Tell us about that.
We do. Actually, it's kind of a newly packaged product. We've had it for a little while. We had iPod tours developed that consisted of a series of 6 tours. Downtown Hampton, Virginia Air and Space Center, Fort Monroe, Phoebus, and historic neighborhoods, as well as Hampton University. And wonderful tour, wonderful multimedia tour that showed pictures of the past, interviews with people who dwell in our community or who have businesses in our community. And so truly the tour itself is a wonderful journey into Hampton's past and present.
And people still, the iPod tour still exists. You can
That's
still
correct.
download it
That's
and
correct.
push play and take it with you.
Absolutely. The iPod tour still exists. You can download the tour from visithampton.com, the CVB's website. But you also have an option for the smartphone tour. And the smartphone tour is compatible with any iPod, any Verizon
so your iPhone,
phone,
your Droid
right.
type phone,
Absolutely.
BlackBerry, any of those things.
Any smartphone will apply.
Because it's running off the web. It doesn't require an app.
True.
Okay.
True. And actually, we even, we may refer to it as a smartphone app, but it really is a direct link. And there's no buffering, there's no delay. So
no, I tested it, and it was, you push play and you're there.
Yeah, it's a wonderful experience. Makes it very easy for you and your earbuds to, peruse Hampton. And
or hey, if your phone is piped through the car, you can play it on the speakers.
Right. And
but you want people to get out and walk in some of these places at least.
Right. And some of the tours, actually, we've placed QR codes around town so that people can use their smartphone, link through the QR code and go right to the smartphone tour. And again, it's a wonderful way to see Hampton's history while you may be visiting Hampton University or Fort Monroe. You just get a little bit more from that experience. And it's a great complement to our Sea to Stars ticket. The Sea to Stars ticket is a package that includes the Virginia Air and Space Center exhibits, the Riverside IMAX 3D digital theater. It includes Miss Hampton Harbor Cruise, the Hampton Carousel, and then admission to the Hampton History Museum. So a wonderful 5 attraction package that's priced at $39 for adults or $25 for youth, and it's available at the Hampton Visitor Center. So you receive your Sea to Stars ticket and you can use it, anytime within the year. You don't have to do it on one day.
And so from the Sea to the Stars, for people who don't remember, is kind of our slogan, and it refers to our history of being a seaport and a fishing village, even when it was Native Americans, and the stars then NASA, military,
right.
all that. But it also ties in perfectly to those specific exhibits, because
Sure.
you're going to see the waterfront at the Carousel, and the History Museum has that, our fishing history and our port history, and then you go to Air and Space and you look at Hampton and NASA and Langley Air Force Base's contributions to our aerospace.
Right, and I kind of view Hampton History Museum as the welcome center for our city. The Visitor Center is located there. You purchase the ticket there. You experience the exhibits there that take you through 400 years
like
of
that.
Hampton history.
Really,
exactly, through 10 galleries.
You can move slowly, but you can
Sure.
also get a pretty quick tour through 400 years.
It's amazing.
That sets the scene for the rest of your visits.
Right, and you can see just the specific factors that shaped Hampton and how we came to be the city we are today. But once you do that, you can take the Miss Hampton out to Fort Wool and experience the island fortification out there, which is really cool. And if you haven't done it, it's a wonderful way to see Hampton from the water. So you do that, you experience the stars at the Air and Space Center, and of course the IMAX theater, which is so incredible now that it's 3D and digital. So really a wonderful experience and something.
And you can break this up over several days, right?
That's the beauty of it. My mother, for example, took care of my kids. So I bought them each a Sea to Stars ticket, and they could experience the Air and Space Center one day. They could go to the carousel, they could go to the History Museum, take the day for the harbor tour, and it gave them 5, action-packed days to enjoy through the course of the summer. But as you mentioned before, it's a wonderful gift for family and friends. It's a wonderful way to greet any visiting friends or relatives and showcase your city to them while they're staying with you.
Or if you're looking for a gift for a birthday, for the holidays,
right.
You're giving somebody an experience, not necessarily more things. And that's wonderful, really, for people of all ages,
right.
not just kids.
Isn't that the truth? There also, during the winter months, there are combo tickets available. So you can still experience a package price, a great value, and still see the Virginia Air and Space Center, the IMAX Theater, the Hampton History Museum.
Because you want those indoor things to
Right.
do. The kids get a little restless. I get a little restless. I don't sit well.
Right.
So it's good to get up and go do those things.
Right, and so you still have, a action-packed day, $20 for adult, $15 for youth. So that is a very good value when you look at the individually priced tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Now also, keep in mind when you have visiting friends and relatives, you have hotels that offer great deals. And our website, visithampton.com, has those packages listed for you. So before you make a reservation for your guest, check out visithampton.com/stay/packages, and you can see all those great packages and special values that are available year round. There's always a package posted.
Right, and we're not going to talk about any because it'll
Right.
change probably before we get there, but it is a place to go. And if you forget the whole URL, if you remember visithampton.com,
Right.
there's a stay button right across the top. It's one of the main navigation items and people can get there.
Correct. And we also have a coupons opportunity
Oh,
on the
that's
website.
nice.
So if you go to visithampton.com/play/coupons, you can see a nice listing of opportunities there for special values and discounts. And again, these are available at retailers, at our attractions, at restaurants. So a wonderful way not only for our visitors to experience our city, but also for the people who live here.
That's wonderful. And some of these things are good, especially, again, in the colder months when you can't get outside, to let the kids do that, or to take, I used to take my Cub Scouts a lot of times to the History Museum or to the Air and Space, and you can get deals then, we're saying.
You absolutely
We love
can.
deals,
You can
Mary.
buy gift cards and certificates. Of course, during the winter months, the Air and Space Center also has the ice rink. And typically those are $7, $7 for the admission, $2 for the skate rental, but you can look for special values for ice skating as well. And there's some great packages that combine admission to the Air and Space Center with the ice skating.
And that's good too, because you get kind of chilly out there sometimes.
True, but we're so fortunate because we live in such a great climate for year-round activity. The golf courses, for example, have Tuesday specials. If you look at our website for golf courses, you have the Hamptons, the Woodlands, and there are special rates on certain days of the week. So there's never a limit on the amount of outdoor activity that's also available.
That sounds wonderful. Okay, are there any other local tourism? It's funny, right now there's this effort to eat locally and buy locally, and I think part of that ought to also be experience locally.
Sure.
Go to these things that are actually free or discounted. I know that Hampton University Art Museum is an amazing experience.
Right, and this year they have the new power generation and just a spectacular offering of artists really from across the country, but because so many, Hampton University draws so many people from different countries, This exhibit is absolutely powerful, so the name fits it so well, New Power Generation. We also, of course, shouldn't overlook Fort Monroe in our own backyard. Free attraction, the Casemate Museum is there. We have something that's really cool, also available through our website, but you can pick up the form from the Hampton History Museum and the Hampton Visitor Center. It's a scavenger hunt, a Fort Monroe that is GPS based, so we kind of refer to it as a geocache tour, but we don't plant any caches.
There's no cache at the
end.
No
caches to look for. No, but you are rewarded in finding, some sort of solution to a puzzle that we give you, and then you take your completed form to the Hampton Visitor Center. You receive a 400th anniversary T-shirt or a poster. So it's a really cool way to take your family out, go explore, learn about the history, and then get rewarded at the end.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. And that's a good outdoor thing too, that
Sure.
gets you out in Fort Monroe and looking around and walking around and seeing all the wonderful history and the architecture out there. I mean,
Right.
it's just a beautiful place.
It sure is. It sure is. And increasingly we have activities available, the fishing, swimming at the beach there, the community center that's open. Of course, the Chamberlain has dining. There is a cafe near the marina.
I know,
the
that's a really
campground.
nice, cute little place.
It is.
Oh, I like
is.
that.
So we have so much going on at Fort Monroe, but always there's the history. The history is so profound over there, and this is a great way to explore it. You have the iPod tour, you have the smartphone app, you have the scavenger hunt, and we also have a Civil War sites guide that takes you through the Civil War history. So lots of ways to experience Fort Monroe, and it's all free.
That's wonderful. So tell us again what your 5 tours are, which areas your 5 tours cover.
Okay, the tours are downtown Hampton.
So that's
Great
St.
introduction
John's
into
and
the
history.
Right. 400-year history
Okay.
of Hampton, but
So
also
not just the early history, but all 400
Sure.
years. Okay.
touches on the 400-year history, the things that are really pivotal in Hampton's history. You have Virginia Air and Space Center. Now, of course, you have an admission fee to the Air and Space Center, but the tour itself, once you're inside, is free. So great tour, great, very interactive, but you can also see that on VASC.org. So if you look at the Virginia Air and Space Center's website, they have an interactive tour that's right there on their website. You have Hampton University, which takes you through the history of the university from 1868.
So many people don't really go there. You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of off on its own. It's
They don't
a bit
realize.
gated. You have to go through.
But it's worth it.
It is,
Go through
and you
the
just
gates.
tell
It's
people,
so
here's
worth
what I'm
it.
doing. They'll let you right on in.
Right. So wonderful tour there, wonderful tour of Phoebus. And Phoebus, you know, I think we'll see Phoebus really evolve and change in the coming few years, but this is a great history of Phoebus. And the businesses who have been in Phoebus or that have been in Phoebus for so many years.
Right,
you know,
right.
some of the structures like the firehouse there, the history of the firehouse, the history of Old Point Bank. You know, so anyway, wonderful tour of Phoebus. Fort Monroe, as we've mentioned, and then the historic neighborhoods. That begins at the Hampton History Museum, but takes you across the bridge to Victoria Boulevard. It takes you through the community there. You then go to Little England Chapel and down Ivy Home Road, takes you to Blackbeard's Point. Then,
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and then over to Old Wythe, and you see the historic homes along Chesapeake Avenue. Many people don't realize the history that occurred along, you know, that shoreline, and this is a great way to experience that while enjoying an incredible view of the harbor.
It's beautiful.
And a beautiful tour of these, you know, these homes that are located there.
That sounds wonderful. I'm very inspired. I want to
good,
go
good. I
do
hope you
these
enjoy
now. Thank you for coming by and sharing this
my
with us,
pleasure.
Mary. And thank you. I hope you'll consider taking one of these tours or at least watching the videos, even if you aren't there on site. But obviously it'd be more fun to be there, be live, and then learn about the history while you're there. Thank you.